Okay, so the left-hand one was your before. We talked lesson 2 about getting behind the ball. Yeah. You just leant a bit too far back, and the ball for me has gone a bit too far back in your stance, okay? Yeah. Ideally speaking, we want it to be, well, right of centre, left as we look, obviously, and your head to just be behind the ball there. So we're kind of in a comfortable position, which then allows your body to go, okay, I can kind of stay there rather than just think, oh, crikey, I'm so far back, I better move a little bit. Because what happened is your head starts on that tilted yellow line there. As you get here, now as you swing back down, you're moving an awful lot. I mean, your head at impact there. There's impact there. Your head now moved in front of the goal, putting a lot more pressure on that right leg, more than you really want to, and just getting really stuck, as we call it. And you can't really turn around that right knee. And again, then when you try to turn, so your right foot wants to sort of try and do this. Now, maybe on a mat, you might have a bit of grip on your shoe, and that right foot couldn't do that. Well, if that right foot wants to do this, and you're doing that, it doesn't do it, you're like, oh, hang on a second. Possibly. Again, I'm not medically qualified at all, but just trying to pinpoint some possibilities as to why. And in reality, that amount of head, if your head's moving kind of that much side to side, it's a lot of things. I mean, see where your head sort of finishes there, kind of, it's sort of a big old amount of movement there. It's just the pivot point being so much here, there, and up and down. There's a lot that can go wrong, okay? This one here now on the right, yes, it's a shorter swing, but as we go back, that line on the side, now from there, even when you think you're trying to stay back, there your head now is staying behind the goal a lot more. So that for me is a much more comfortable, more natural, more neutral setup, and allowing you to make a bit more loft on that golf club, as opposed to being so far over to your right side. Okay, just keeping your... I mean, worst case scenario, the head is kind of on top of the golf ball, which it kind of is there. Okay, if you're getting your head... Oh, it's on the right being, so that's a long way up. If I go middle there, just too far ahead. And when you get that far ahead, you just... If you've got loft, you're all right. When you haven't got loft, it's going to be a difficult thing. And what it will also cause is what we call your path to come too far from this way. So now the ball's going to go off to the left. Then you try to close the face by rolling and flicking your arms, which you do pretty good 4 or 5 times out of 10. But then the other 4 or 5 times out of 10, it's not so good. The ball goes left, or might go too far to the right, or a variety of all these things, okay? So trying to fit a little bit more, I think more rotation really with your body. I would practice as much as you can. Again, I'm going to come in a colder climate now. Get a straight line, I would hope. Practice up against that wall, okay? We want to be swinging. So your right shoulder goes through that wall a little bit. Not too bad there with the lower half, but there's still a little bit of kind of that, and then it would have gone through. So we can make some swings, just feel like you're sort of clearing and releasing your shoulders, your hips and your torso, just to get out of the way rather than kind of leaning on it too much. The problem you're going to struggle with is lack of loft. You're going to really struggle with. Direction's going to want to go left. Your hands are going to want to flick over, and then when you do get it sort of half decent, the shape is just going to be quite slingy left to right. So I think in terms of practice, as we said at the start, as a warm-up, maybe 10, 15 golf balls, wedges, 9-irons, just grab any club at the bottom of the bag, doesn't matter. Make some swings where you really feel twisty-turny, pulling the body away and almost over-exaggerating it. Don't be afraid to do these over-exaggerated movements. These are designed to kind of really get you away from what you were doing at the other end of the spectrum, You've got too much this way and too much that way, You're at this end, let's get you at the other end as much as we can, So do them as your warm-up. Start off with some short wedges and 9-irons just to get a feel for the swing. And then your goal would be, because they get the TrackMan down, hence I know you said they get the numbers, Look for the spin to be to the left. The last one there was perfect.
Side spin.
Side spin was 0.
Right, okay.
Now, you're not going to get every single one to be 0. That's almost an impossible... I mean, the straight shot is always the hardest shot in golf. But if we can get that sort of down to under 3, 4, 500-ish mark, not 2,500, a ball spinning that much is just so hard to control. You've got to either aim so far left, and then for some holes you might... There's a lot of trouble left. You want to aim towards that trouble thinking it might come back? Because every now and then it doesn't come back, does it? Just go straight left. So try to get that sensation, that ball is starting right. Maybe put out a marker on the range then and try and get it to start right of target, Get that ball right of target, Okay, mate, makes sense?
Brilliant.
Good stuff. What about us?